In this section, we want to see the repeat loops in SCL for tier portal. We want to check the applications, how to implement this, how to use this capability to implement loops in tier portal. Repeat statement is similar to for loops. It's used for repeated actions. Mainly we do repeated actions on arrays, so it's very useful for doing complex data management and these types of this sort of tasks. You can see the structure of the repeat instruction. Let's see how a for loop is implemented and executed in a PLC. If you consider this is the normal execution of program in a PLC, and consider the case that the program in OB1, the rest of PLC program is very small compared to the actual for loop. For loop actually needs more execution time compared to a small amount of code section in OB1. You know that for loops are executed in one cycle. The advantage is the data is consistent. Data is consistent, and at the end of cycle, you're sure that all tasks are done and data is consistent that you can use in the rest of your program. But the disadvantage is that the cycle time is getting extensive a bit. If you use multiple loops in your program, you should think of a extended cycle time. So while using for loops, you should take care of cycle time. But in case of repeat instruction, repeat instruction is done iteration by iteration in each cycle of CPU. Consider the first iteration is performed in this cycle, so the time is the execution time is much lower compared to a for loop. So in a repeat instruction, in each CPU cycle, only one iteration is possible, and after 10 cycles, the whole program is executed. This is also this strategy has an advantage. The advantage is a less extensive cycle time of the CPU, but the disadvantage is the consistency of the data when you execute a function or a task that requires several cycles of CPU. Consistency of produced data is a crucial fact that you need to take care. We will discuss this consistency in a new video later, but first we want to explore this capability, this instruction, in a simple example. We have a to the array here, and we want to fill it with the values from multiplication table. We want to implement this in SCL, and we call it in OB1 for a fast implementation. So we have the multiplication table here, then we need an OB1 in SCL, and also we need a startup OB. Startup for initialization of loop counters. Loop counters are I and J. Save. And in a startup, we initialize I to 1 and J to 1. Save and compile this OB100. In OB1 we create the repeat section of the program. So the structure of a repeat instruction is similar to this and to a portal, and we write the multiplication formula here, table point data. Is equal to I multiply J and done. And when we CPU restarts, the values I and J start with one value, with 1, I and J start with 1 after restart. And they perform the first row here in the first cycle, and we need to do the incrementation on J. Consider we start from I is equal to 1 and J is equal to 1. Yeah, it's the starting cell. Is the starting cell. After we add, we filling the cell, that cell, we need to increment the column number. Keep the row number constant, and we need to increment the column number. Check the column number, and we want to keep the column numbers limited to 10. If J is more than 10, down. If J is more than 10, this is the case that we reach to the last column. in this case we need to initialize j to 1, and we need to increment the row number. We need to move to the next row. Move to the next row. Go to first column first. And if I is more than 10, then reach to the next, reach to final row, reach to the final row. We initialize everything here. I is equal to 1 and j is equal to 1, and everything is done. OB1 compile. Let's see the PLC tags. Change them to integer values. Save them, and this problem is solved here for data inaccuracy. Now we are ready to test the whole program. Run the CPU, and no problem here. Check the DB online. And see the values. And it's like a simple multiplication table. 2 multiplied by 5 is equal to 10, and all values are okay. Now we want to test the same program in a very slow cyclic interrupt. Let's try that. As I told before, in repeat, all the different iterations are called in different CPU cycles. I want to call the whole program in a very slow cyclic OB, and see the gradual filling of the table. See the gradual filling. For that, I need to insert a cyclic interrupt. OB is number 30, and let's have 5 seconds. This is 100 milliseconds. Let's have a 5 second cyclic interrupt and insert the code section here. We don't need this OB1 again. We don't need this OB1. It's possible to delete and compile this section, and we need to memory reset before function test and download. run, and let's see what's happening online. 1 2 3. In each 5-second steps, you will see that the function is called, and it's gradual. It's a big concern that data are not, all cells are not updated at the same time. It's a consistency issue, but it can be solved easily. And I hope you understand that in this instruction the entire loop is not executed at once. It's scheduled over several cycles of CPU, and it depends on where you call the program. Previously we called the program in OB1, and you couldn't see how they are filled. The elements of this cell, the array, are filled. But now when we slow the process a bit, make it slow, you can see that it's filling gradual. I hope you enjoyed. The next topic will be the consistency, and it will be addressed in a new video. Please subscribe, ring the bell for new topics, and you can find the project files for all new and old videos in Patreon.